Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Cocktails and Rocktails with me, your most notorious groupie, Allison Rouse, and author of We've Got Tonight, The Life and Times of Notorious Groupie, me. And these 3 mini books, soon to be another one added as soon as I get it done. And I'm even thinking about doing rock and roll coloring books. Is that silly? But adult coloring books, so we'll see. We'll figure that one out. Anyway, again, thank you for all the love, everybody, all the support. I really love the community. We're growing here. We're getting close to 1,000, so thank you guys for getting me this far. It's so awesome. Don't forget, everybody who's haunting me, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share, hit the bells. Because after I hit 1,000, I'm going to be doing giveaways and all kinds of cool stuff. So, only to my subscribers. And everything you need to know from my books to my merchandise, because I do have merchandise, to the cocktail a day, everything down in the description. So hit those links down in that description, you guys. Ooh, sorry, I'm getting a little slobbery in my mouth. I need to swallow more. But I've been ruined since Kip Winger. Oh, can't swallow since then. All right, guys. So today, and speaking of swallowing, we are going to talk about a little kind of semi one-hit wonder from late 90s called the Bloodhound Gang. That's right, folks. You know the songs. The lap dance is better if the stripper is crying. That song is hilarious. And today we are going to have a peach pie martini. This is my sad attempt at trying to put cinnamon and sugar on the rim. So everybody, grab your peaches, kick up your feet, and let's have a little cocktail rocktail, shall we? Cheers, big ears. Oh, that's good. That's really good, and I didn't think it would because there's bitters in that. But, oh, that is really good. I do like that. So good. So everybody get down in that description and make one for yourselves. So delish. Okay, so this is going to take you back to my Vegas years when my roommate was Crazy Lisa. And this is towards the end of Lisa and I's friendship and her being my roommate and stuff. So... and I'll get into that one day about how Lisa and I met and why I call her Crazy Lisa and everything. But anyway, so we were hanging out at the Hard Rock as we did because in Las Vegas, that was literally the only place I would ever hang out. Because why go anywhere else? You've got rock stars, you've got actors, all the action, concerts, hotel rooms right there for when, you know, like Steve Jones and stuff. And that's where everybody stayed. So why bother going anywhere else when the action's right there? So we would go to the Hard Rock one night, no clue, just it's probably a weekend night. We're just going to go hang out and see what happens because that's kind of what Lisa and I always did. Again, it was pre-internet. We kind of knew the bands that were playing, but not always. So we're just hanging out at the Center Bar when a couple guys come over. This guy, he's probably about my height. I'm 5'6". And with my heels on, I had the big girl heels on, so I was probably about, I don't know, 6 foot. And so, but it was this guy who was probably about 5'7", 5'8", and then this really tall guy, and then another goofy guy that was kind of goofy looking guy that was kind of in between. And they introduced their names. I remember Jared, Mike, and I think James. James was not in the band, but he was with the record company. Really good looking guy. All of them, you know, besides Goofy Guy, the little lead singer, that's who it was of Bloodhound Gang. I think that was his name, Mike. Anyway, so they introduced themselves. They're like, what are you ladies drinking? We're like, Dom. They're like, oh, whoa. We're like, oh, we get it comped. Don't worry. You know, so we started sharing our Dom with them and talking, and it turns out they're in a little band called the Bloodhound Gang. And we were like, oh, drummer at Def Leppard's only got one arm. Drummer at Def Leppard's only got one arm because he does. He does. Def Leppard's only got one arm. And they, at the time, you know, their songs were brand new. They were big hits. And they were just in Vegas for the first time as a band having a blast. And of course, who do they run into? The 2 best groupies that they could run into in Vegas. It's true. So, just having a typical night, right? Hanging out, goofing off, having drinks. You know, Lisa and Jared are getting along. But Jared's kind of looking at me. I'm like, yeah, he's good looking, but I wasn't really like thinking about sleeping with anybody that night. It wasn't sometimes it's just not on your mind. You just kind of go with the flow and see what happens. And I was getting along real well with James and Jared and Mike and all of them. I'm like, oh, this is just going to be a cool, chill hangout night. Well, it was, and we all end up going upstairs because what do? You know, we've got weed. They want to smoke weed. So we go upstairs to their hotel room. I'm telling you, it's the perfect thing, ladies. I always bring a joint or two rolled with you. I don't give a fuck if people can smell them. And they can't smell them because, trust me, one of the last concerts I went to, I had weed in my purse, and we were at the hotel bar, and people were like, I'm legal. I'm legal. So, yeah, always have weed because it gives you the perfect excuse to get out of that hotel bar and get them away and go spend time or go up to their hotel room or whatever, you know. So you will always have a good excuse with that joint. So we go upstairs and we're smoking away. We're having a good time. We order up more champagne and drinks and stuff from room service. And Lisa's kind of heavy on Jared. So I'm like, yeah, let her have Jared. I mean, not let her, but they're kind of going off. And Jared's still going back and forth, right? This comes into play later. But Lisa likes him. They're having fun. Go have fun. I'm not really in the mood to be with anybody, but kind of liking this guy, James. And he kind of starts, and I'm like, well, he does kind of work for the record company. That could open some doors to new musicians, right? So we're hanging out, and he starts kissing me and stuff like this, and he gets me to his room, and it was just like, he's a really, really good kisser, and he was funny, and he was cute. But when I was standing, I had to take off my shoes to kiss him. Otherwise, I was leaning down to kiss him because he wasn't that tall of a guy. So we get to his room, and it was just kind of awkward. We didn't really even go all the way, right? Just like touching my brother, which is not right. It's not. It's wrong. It's. I don't give a fuck who we are. It's wrong. And it just, you know, so we just kind of were like, and we both were all cool about it. We both kind of felt the same way. We're like, whoa, didn't see that coming, you know. You're attracted to somebody, and it turns out to be not what you thought it would. Right, Brett Michaels? Yeah, tap, tap, tap. And not that James was bad. He didn't get, I think that was his name. I'm just going to call him James because I don't remember his name, really. I'm pretty sure it was James. Don't always have to remember their names if I'm not really actually going all the way with them. But, so, we were both really cool about it. Like, hey, yeah, let's go to the other room and get Lisa and whatever. So we go back at Lisa and Jared. We all go downstairs. We're having more fun. Spend the next few days. And I don't have passes because we didn't even go to the show, I don't think. I really don't remember because there were so many musicians and concerts and venues and stuff happening when I was living in Vegas and people just there visiting for fun. So I don't even remember going. We just hang out for a few days. And Lisa and Jared are together and we're just all having fun, me and the rest of the band, whatever. Well, time goes by. Cousin Amy moves back into town because I flew her back into town for her birthday. She never leaves. Crazy Lisa's getting to a real crazy point to where I couldn't have her in the house anymore because there were knives being thrown at walls and stuff like that. So get her out of the house because it was just peachy coming home to that. And she never worked. She was a stripper and she never ever worked. So I was always footing the bills, you know, paying rent and everything because she was my roommate, but I'm not going to lose my apartment, you know, because it was only in my name. But so anyway, time goes by. Lisa goes to wherever Lisa goes to. Crazy Lisa. Cousin Amy's back. We move into a new apartment in the same complex, another 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, upstairs, all this stuff. We have the same phone number that we did because cell phones were not really that prominent yet. We were still landlines. Everybody still had landlines. So Cousin Amy and I were just sitting there one night, hanging out. I think she was actually back in Michigan visiting her family, Cousin Amy. And I remember I was home alone and I just pick up the phone because I didn't recognize the caller ID number. So I picked it up. I knew it was not Las Vegas. Pick it up and I'm like, hello? He's like, hi, is Lisa there? And I'm like, oh, you know what? No, she doesn't live here. This is her old roommate. She moved out. I'm so sorry. Who's this? And he's like, oh, it's Jared. We met her. I'm like, Jared, yeah. I'm like, from Bloodhound Gang. He's like, oh, is this Allison, the black-haired girl? I was like, yeah, this is me. How are you doing? And we just started talking. He's like, well, I'm going to be in town for the next couple days. He's like, I'm getting there tomorrow, and I'll be there for 2.5 days. I was like, oh, wow, cool. I'm like, we should go have dinner. He's like, yeah. He's like, we should. We should go hang out and have dinner and drinks and, you know, see what the night brings. And what did the night brings? Yep. Switched off for Jared. And I'm not sad that I did, and I'm not mad. And Lisa was still working at the strip club, and someone had seen me at the Hard Rock because her boyfriend had worked there, and she was going to pick her boyfriend up from work. He was a security, and they had seen me with Jared at the Hard Rock, and they were like, oh, nice to meet you, and come had a couple drinks with us, whatnot, and whatever. And Jared and I were hooking up, and it was so funny. Jared's like, wow, you're way cooler than she was, and all this stuff, and whatever, to each their own. I mean, we're each our own individuals, and people click in different ways. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's really awesome, sometimes it's fantastic, and sometimes it's shitty. And we just happened to click really, once it was just he and I, we just happened to click, you know. So spent a few days with Jared by chance that he still had that phone number, and I'm glad he did. So, but Lisa heard us talking. She was like, and she came around, she wasn't talking to me because I had to kick her out. I had to call the loony bin to come get her out of the house, basically. So she wasn't really talking to me. She was trying to start shit, and she heard my friend and I talking about it. She's like, that was so fun the other night. What band was that guy in? And I said, oh, Bloodhound Gang. And I see Lisa come around the vanity, because there was this huge long vanity in the dressing room, and I see her come around the vanity, and she's like, they were in town? Did Jared call for me? I'm like, yeah, but he decided he didn't want you. She's like, you were hanging out with Jared? And the girl that had seen me with, that we had a drink with, was like, oh yeah, he was hanging on her. It was him. And because everybody knew the kind of drama that was going on, and I was just not having it, and just minding my own business, but not Lisa. So yeah, Lisa was all pissed off, but not me. Still don't think I've actually seen the Bloodhound Gang play, though. Slept with a couple of them, or with one of them, and guy from their record company. I think James called a couple more times, but yeah, like I said, it was just friends. He was in town with other bands, and we hung out at the shows and stuff. Went home, that type of thing. But yeah, so never know, ladies. You never know. I don't usually like to sleep with my friend's lovers, but she wasn't my friend anymore, and I was a better lover according to him. So neener. Alright, guys, so there's my little story about the Bloodhound Gang. They were crazy and wild. First time in Vegas, you could tell. You can always tell somebody's first time in Vegas. Alright, so there's my little story about the Bloodhound Gang. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will put a link down to their videos for those of you who don't know who they are. They were fucking awesome. They're kind of a parody rock band, just fun as hell. Jared was the cutest in the band, and I hung off him like a fucking chimpanzee off a jungle gym. Upside down off his neck, climbed him. Yep, I did that. He swore I couldn't climb him like a jungle gym, so I said, oh yeah? Double dog dare me. Never double dog dare me, you guys. Never. You'll lose. Ask any of the Rock Boys. How do you think some of these legendary nights happened? All started with a double dog dare. Alright, guys. Thanks again for all the love and support. Really, really, truly, you guys, I can never tell you how much I love you guys and love how much fun we're having here. So keep it coming. And for those of you that are just haunting me, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, because if you want to be part of the giveaways that I'm going to be doing, you got to subscribe. And you got to know when they're going on. So hit the subscribe, hit the bells, and we will see you next time for Cocktails and Rocktails. All right. Cheers, big ears.